Live from WQAD, this is News 8's Good Morning Quad Cities.
Good morning and welcome. It is Monday, January 16th. I'm Angie Sharp.
And I'm Jonathan Katz. Thanks for joining us. Closings and cancellations at the bottom of your screen right now. Also at our website, WQAD.com, with the red bar at the top of our homepage. A lot going on because of all of these slick conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric is keeping a close eye on this as well because it looks like things might get worse before they get better, right, Eric?
Yeah, just because we're putting more people on the roadways now and in the next hour, and so a lot of folks are going to be put in harm's way. I do want to read some of the reports, and we've got a live blog right now, WQAD.com. Viewer in Burlington says that the roads aren't too bad. I'd like a few more reports from Burlington. Lance Carlson says the side streets are icy. Main roads are wet in Oneida, Illinois. Also, Sandy Nealon says Mount Morris is all ice this morning. Jordan McCarthy's in Reynolds. He said, I couldn't make it past 15 miles an hour without fishtailing, and that was in town, so I called into work. And that's probably a smart thing to do this morning if you have the ability to do that. You can see on the storm tracker, we've got some heavy freezing rain now, especially in our northern counties. This will continue through about 10 o'clock this morning. That's when we do expect the temperatures will rise from the south to north as we head through the morning. Full coverage coming up, guys, in about 10 minutes time.
Eric, thank you. We are already seeing some slick conditions on the roads, as Eric mentioned.
Let's go out to News 8's Lauren Simone joining us now live, driving around right now to show you exactly what you can expect when you head out the door. Lauren?
Yes, soggy, wet, and icy is the name of the game this morning. So I definitely was a little afraid when I walked out of the door this morning because there's so much ice. But at the same time, when I got in my car, and I'm getting in my car now, you actually see crews really out here laying down salt, and they've been pre-treating and things like that. So really, as careful as you need to be throughout this time, throughout this area, you know, crews really have been working to try to, you know, get this down as much as possible going through this early morning commute here. So we just passed by St. Ambrose campus there, and we did see some slick sidewalks there. So, and then we're, you know, continuing down on Locust. We're on Iowa Street and Locust at this light right now. So, you know, people driving by are definitely being cautious here as well. They're, you know, taking their time and going through here. So we're definitely going to bring you guys more within the show here. We're going to head on over to Bettendorf later on. All right, I'm going to send it back to you guys.
All right, sounds good. Lauren, thank you very much. You can always get the latest information on our Storm Track 8 weather app. There is an interactive radar, hour-by-hour forecast, and more right at your fingertips. The app is free for both Apple and Android users. All right, taking a look at Iowa roads right now, you can see that majorly, especially the eastern part of the state, conditions are icy right now on the right side in blue. Further north in Iowa, conditions are somewhat slick right now. We also have a look at the Illinois Department of Transportation. You can see up north, especially in yellow, there are patches of ice and snow right now in Carroll and Joe Daviess County. Here in the Quad Cities area, clear of ice and snow.
Well, the storm that's hitting our area today is responsible for at least 5 traffic-related deaths over the weekend. Ice storm warnings and winter weather advisories were in effect for parts of 10 states since Friday, stretching from New Mexico to Wisconsin. Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri were the hardest hit. In Kansas, icy roads caused a 20-car pileup outside Wichita. Residents stuck in traffic say they only have one message for anyone who's out on the roads.
If you don't have to drive, don't drive at all.
Stay off the roads. Just stay home.
Thousands of people across the country are also without power this morning.
Davenport leaders are planning to put millions of dollars into the city's streets and sewers over the next few years. City Council held its second budget work session on Saturday, this time focusing on the 6-year plan for infrastructure projects. City leaders say they want to invest heavily in streets and sewers, spending $124 million over the next 6 years. Many of these specific projects come from residents' suggestions.
Throughout the year, we'll receive a lot of inquiries and a lot of comments from residents of, when is this street going to be fixed, or get to that. A lot of that input actually is very helpful for us in formulating the game plan for what it is that we're going to be addressing over the next 6 years.
This year alone, Davenport city leaders plan to put $18 million into street projects, including repairs to Rockingham Road. Bettendorf city leaders will hear a plan tomorrow about what is planned for their parks and recreations across the city. The draft plan is looking at major improvements with both short-term and mid-term goals. It includes updates like bike lanes and trails, equipment, and community centers. They're also looking to continuing to expand to enhance winter recreation possibilities and considering the next steps related to the downtown I-74 Bridge Park development.
Galesburg city officials plan to hold a public hearing tomorrow on how to move forward with the plan to replace the city's lead water service lines. Last summer, lead was discovered in the water supply of dozens of homes, but new tests show the city's water is meeting federal water quality standards. The city is now working to replace hundreds of lead water lines running into homes, which is being paid for with a $4 million forgivable loan. That public hearing will be held tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at Galesburg City Hall. A special meeting will also be held tomorrow night with the Galesburg School Board over potentially cutting $2 million from its budget. Board members are considering getting rid of 10 teacher and librarian positions. The district is also facing several $1 million worth of mandated repairs to buildings throughout the district. Because of declining enrollment and overcapacity, the board is considering combining grade levels differently and closing some school buildings.
East Moline's Education Association is figuring out their next plan of action as they continue to fight for fair pay. It comes after last Monday's picketing outside of Glenview Middle School and a walk-in, walk-out protest that happened on Friday. The union and the Board of Education have been in an impasse in contract negotiations since last September.
We're frustrated in the sense that negotiations have stalled, that they've been shut down, and we feel by the Board of Education that it feels as if they don't want to have a resolution to this anytime in the near future.
The East Moline Education Association plan to meet tomorrow at 3:30 to discuss strategy. The union has not yet called for a strike, but has set up a strike office to prepare for the possibility of a walkout. Illinois' largest public employee union will ask its members whether they would support a strike. AFSCME is at odds with Governor Bruce Rauner over union rights, pay, and benefits. Voting starts at the end of the month but would not guarantee a strike. State labor regulators have declared the two-year-old talks at an impasse.
Well, today is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and over the weekend, the Quad City community got together to honor the life and legacy of the civil rights leader. At Augustana College, the Passing the Torch celebration paid tribute with music and speakers. Community leaders say Martin Luther King Jr. envisioned everyone to be able to sit together and to embrace everyone's differences. They say his message is relevant even in today's time, and that we should take the time to focus on what he fought for and to continue to come together for change.
Solidarity, use your voice, so we're really encouraging people to stand together if they're fighting for a cause, and to also use their voice to effect positive change.
Passing the Torch is an annual celebration organized by Augustana College and the Dr. King Celebration Committee.
Still to come right here on Good Morning Quad City's Beating the Blues, the ways you can make sure you don't get too sad during one of the most depressing days of the year.
And winter on the farm, where farmers and residents are able to check out the latest trends and equipment at this year's Quad Cities Farm Show.
We continue to follow those temperatures outside. Critical 32 is where we sit right now, hoping that these numbers go up before we get too much ice. Accurate forecast next.
You're watching Good Morning Quad Cities with Jonathan Katz and Angie Sharp.